Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Basilisk Reacts. For today, we are checking out 1 million subscribers defining success. This is a speech that REN gave when he hit 1 million. I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I have been reading through the comments and there's just so much input from you guys, from the renegades, from the people in the Reniverse. So I have checked out 2 songs, Hi Ren, and I have seen what was it called again? Sick Boy. So only judging from those 2 songs, I do have somewhat of an idea of Ren, and I think, well, I don't need a lot, because when you are so unapologetically yourself, and it really is a strong character, right? It really shines through. Then you can try to hide it, whatever you want, but yeah, I will still see it, and I think with Brent that is just the case. He is just a very beautiful soul. You know, I've seen the post that I've shared with you guys earlier about addressing the UMG. I don't know exactly the specifics of it, but to me, with my limited knowledge, right, he seems like a very decent guy, and yeah, I'm very interested in him. I'm very interested in getting to know him better. So I saw a recommendation. If you really want to see what he's like, check out the 1 million subscriber speech. So that is what we'll be doing. I don't know if there are many people that have seen this, so I think it will be interesting for you guys as well. We're going to be watching it together, and then after, I'm just gonna go zoom in on some parts of the speech I thought was interesting. I'm very curious, guys, and yeah, can't wait. Let's get into it.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is a flipping huge milestone. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while. I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal. So thank you guys. Yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. It's too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But yeah, success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me, and that makes me feel very rich. I'm in a very strange position right now where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy. Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark justifies my own pain, and I desperately needed that to be justified. There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark. It's a place that I'm very familiar with. In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain.
Sorry guys, is this bothering you? I had a fan turned on, and I'm not sure if the wind is messing up with the microphone. So sorry guys.
To be a constant law of the universe is that life is inconsistent. No, to be a certain, to be a constant. Don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt forever, whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light. You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious and you could be magnificent. For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better. For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love. Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So we really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority number one. If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it, feel it, understand it, express it, and then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love, forgive yourself, and then project that love outwards and the anger will pass. We have a decision in every interaction to tilt the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia, and some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you.
Oh my God, guys. So, some first impressions. I know I have said in, I think it was the Sick Boy video, that I felt inside of me that I just really resonate with him so much. I told you guys I really have the same kind of ideas as him, and now that I'm seeing this, guys, actually, first and foremost, first impressions, that was really touching, and I think it was very nice for me to see that because. For me, what I find very important when I am getting to know an artist better, right? This is my own little inquiry about REN at the moment. What weighs the most, is the most valuable, is moments like this where I can see Ren not as an artist. He always is, right? This is also a camera, so there is always this influence of the I don't want to say it's a burden, but you are what is it called? Consciously conscious of the fact that you are being recorded and this is for other people to see. So there will always be some factors weighing in, of course. But I do have the feeling that this is super genuine, and I do have the feeling that this is truly who Ren is. Ren Gill is his name. So yeah, maybe that is also just weighing in, right? Because he is not using another name. This is Ren. It's truly his name, and I think this is truly Ren that we're seeing. Um, I don't know, guys. A bit at a loss for words, but there is just so much to talk about because for me, it's kind of I'm sitting between there's so much to talk about and there's nothing to talk about, because everything that he said here, it just feels like it's my thoughts. It's just another way of putting it. Of course, well, English isn't my first language, right? I think I have seen two words. I heard him say two words that I don't know the exact meaning of, but I did not. I don't even have to know the meaning of it, because the rest of it, all around the word that I don't know, the message is very clear and it really resonates with me. Yeah, let's just dive into the analysis and we can spend some time, yeah, really putting everything that he is saying under a magnifying glass. I think I will be very capable to do that because, as I said, guys, this is it's insane. I think he's so correct. I think his opinion and his vision of what is good, as he beautifully explained, I think it is so close to what ultimately is the truth, right? There are just there is always a matter of opinions. There's always a matter of ideas, and we will always run into people that have different ideas of different concepts. But what what is important to me is that that's subjectively, but what's important to me is that you can make your points with objectively make your points and then agree on objectively. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it just yeah, it's ticking all the boxes what I think is important too, and what I would feel as hard to knock when we're talking about what is good and what is not. So yeah, guys, I'm rambling a bit. Let's just get into the analysis, and hopefully, if there is any misunderstanding or any need for further explanation, hopefully I can give it to you here, because I think it's very much in line with how I view the world and my vision of what is good. I think Ren and I are having the exact same ideas. So hopefully I can show you guys that, and hopefully I can add some more explanation, substance, depth. Um, let's get into it. Man, I love him, man. Wow.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is a flipping huge milestone. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while. I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal. So thank you guys.
So I immediately want to say that it is so commendable for him to really shout out the YouTube reaction community, because of course I have seen the post that he has made, and I have been reading in the comments also that he really deems them very important. So to see that it is almost the very first thing that he acknowledges, I think is very well, from a perspective as me being a content creator, as me being a reactor, right? I'm running a reaction channel, not necessarily, but just from a human perspective, I think it's very nice to, yeah, to shout them out, and it really confirms everything that he's saying after, because he also is covering a subject, saying that he does have the feeling that his music and his purpose transcends himself. So that is, it's just all. If there were to be a devil's advocate, right? Someone just looking for or a professional hater of some sort. I don't know how to even call these people, but I think those kind of people will have a very hard time cracking Ren, because he is just so consistently good, right? He is just so his vision is so clear and it's so strong. You cannot defeat him in his purpose. So I think that is, even if you are not by default, by definition, a good person, I think it is very important for a person, for everyone, to just have a clear vision of what you think is good or bad, right? But really stand behind it. And Ren is he's hardcore, man.
Um, yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. It's too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But yeah,
And even small little details like this, right? I call it details, but it is just unfiltered Ren that I'm seeing here. It's just a little awkward laugh, and he is just making it known. He's making it known. It's a little too much to remember, so I have wrote it down. This is also genuine. This is exactly what I'm looking for when getting to know an artist better. This is, to me, I love this human connection.
with me. But yeah, success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain.
This is already, look, I don't have that position. I think there are many things that I can imagine, but to be so talented as Ren, I just have to I just have to what is that, how do people say that? um Mike Tyson once said it when talking about Muhammad Ali. I think he says every head must bow and every uh, I don't know exactly, but what I'm talking about, guys, I will explain it in the way I think I can. Is that he has so much talent, right? And he has such a good ability to really translate his intentions, his art, his creativity into music that is accepted by us, that is received by us. So there are a lot of things that I can imagine, but to yeah, say something about this is for me personally very hard because I don't even have the capacity to really fathom the amount of talent that is needed to really think about what he is saying right here. Because my aspirations with music, that is already a very huge part, but for him, he is finding meaning in his music that transcends himself. This is, I don't know, let me just rewind a bit because I do feel like my explanation is falling apart a bit.
It means that I have a responsibility that transcends me.
So what he is saying is that um, his music is really reaching out to us, right? And it really has a very strong effect, and that is why he thinks what he thinks is success, to be able to reach those people and to really be of a positive influence on that via his music. So that is what success is to him. And honestly, guys, for an artist, I don't think it can get any more beautiful than this.
If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's
This is just so, it's so selfless, and I think on the road of ascension, right? Letting go of your ego, letting go of the materialistic stuff in the world, in your life, really focusing on what is when you would have a conversation with someone like a monk or someone that is very spiritually enlightened. That is the kind of quality that you're then met with, selflessness. And I think it's um, yeah, he's a special case, guys. Ren, I don't know exactly his age, but I think he's super mature. He's super advanced for his age, because to me he looks quite young, and I often associate those lessons to be learned at a very at a later age, at a later stage, I would rather say.
far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me. And
Right.
that makes me feel very rich.
Right, and you can because when you're listening to this, right, you can understand it, but I do want to emphasize the fact emphasize the fact that there is a big difference between making not making it up, but coming up with this kind of motivation and truly to feel it, because there just goes a whole lot of struggle and hardships before it, because we as human beings, there is a very large portion of your life where you just have too much going on from the exterior world, right? Materialistic world, that you first have to really process all of that before you can really access the everything within, I would say, is the most logical timeline of how that progress is showing. And to really achieve that level where you can say that me being able to have success in the way that other people can have success as well, that enriches me, I think that is very yeah, once again guys, it's very selfless. And I think selflessness is a very it's a beautiful quality for not necessarily an artist, but for every human being to have.
I'm in a very strange position right now.
It's way more popular in my experience, right, to be selfish, because it's easier. It's what I would call at a very low frequency.
Now, where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has.
And guys, I don't know the specifics, right? I have read some comments and him being misdiagnosed, and it took a very long time before he really got the right diagnosis and therefore also the right treatment for it. But just from this speech, well, I say just, but to me, it's just packed. It's packed with information, but it's really, guys, it's just a 5-minute video. So that is why I say just. But just from this video, I really can. I don't want to say feel, but I do get a very good idea of how much he must have been suffering. This is, to me, there are two outcomes. When you are brought up with trauma, there are two outcomes. It's either, and those are very extreme, I might add. That is, my life sucked so hard, I will devote my life to making others miserable, or my life sucked so bad, I won't do anything that will not uplift others. And I think REN truly is the embodiment of the second kind of outcome when we're talking about upbringing with trauma or with struggle. You know, I think yeah, the most beautiful souls have the deepest grounds. And REN, yeah, I was really getting emotional because I just feel I feel the pain through his voice, through his speech right here. Yeah.
By far brought me the most pain, has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy.
Mm. Because of course his pain has been material for other people to find comfort in, to find support in. So that is what he's talking about here, guys.
Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark,
right,
justifies my own pain. And I desperately needed that to be justified.
And rightfully so, right? It is so can be, what is it called? It can be so tiring. It can ask so much of you, of your body, of your mental, to constantly be suffering, and then also having the idea of why, right? Why am I suffering this much? Why is there no answer to my suffering? I'm alone with my suffering. But now that his suffering has found a purpose that really empowers him, that being the people that listen to his music coming from the source that is his pain, yeah, I can. It's only logical to me to have that need and then to have it justified, yeah, that it sounds like a revelation, guys. I don't know if revelation is the right word, and I say that because I don't really know what it means, but it just feels right to say that word. So hopefully you guys understand. But I will try to look for some synonyms, and that is it feels well, like a climax, maybe like absolute clarity. It feels like just a very conclusion. It feels like um, hopefully you get the gist of it.
There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark.
Mm,
It's a place that I'm very familiar with.
mm.
In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life.
That's super rough, guys.
I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting.
Guys, this is just I don't really need to explain further on what he is saying right here because of course there is no other way to interpret it. But I do want to really focus on it because what he is explaining here, well, I don't want to say that I come from trauma and struggle, but honestly, nowhere near what he is explaining right here have I seen in my life. And there are moments that I thought, right, what is going on? Why me? But that is the thing, right? I we don't have control over what is what is bad and what is worse. Everything that we can do is just we have to accept that our ideas of what is bad and what is worse comes from what we have seen in experience in our lives. So you cannot say, or you cannot really compare your life with others because if you have always lived a very easy life, right? No debt or always food in the fridge, just a very what I would call a privileged life. And for everyone is getting a different idea of what is privileged when I say that. But if you live a very privileged life and then you run into a situation where your car broke down, right? That is then a very big deal. Why? Because you have not seen yourself in situations worse than that. That is the only misfortune that has happened to you. So that is now your uh, what you will be referencing, using in reference, because that is now what you know as this is the worst of my life. And to see that there are people, there is Ren not being able to socialize, standing under the shower with excruciating pain. Guys, he has been through so much. Um, this is heartbreaking, guys.
And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good,
Mm.
because it felt insidious.
Right? He's breaking up himself. This is Ren. What I'm seeing here.
Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel.
So I don't know if there are people, but statistically speaking, there must be. But you could think that he is just talking about his pain to really just give you a better idea of what he has been through. But to me, how I interpret it, it is necessary information for the coming part, the following part, to really have that impact that he's looking for. Because you can you can say, well, if you are hurting right now, please don't worry, because I have seen that life is inconsistent. It will go over. It will be beautiful. It can be hideous, but Ren really adding this segment of pain. Oh, sorry, guys. It really strengthens the part that follows. And I think that has always been the main priority, to get that message across instead of actually just telling people the kind of pain that he had to endure.
From hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day,
Ren is such an angel, man.
don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency.
Right. So this is the first word that I don't know the meaning of, dichotomy. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency. Yeah, but I would imagine, let me just let Ren finish his sentence.
Makes me know that you won't hurt forever. Whether that comes from resolution.
I think it could also be used as a synonym to let's see if I can restructure this sentence.
This cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and
dancing inside this dichotomy. It's just a very pretty way of saying experiencing this environment and experiencing these circumstances. That is what I think is what he's trying to say here.
Inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt.
Right? Because he has the experience of living in that environment, in that headspace, in that world reality. That is how he can now say that you won't hurt forever.
Forever. Whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether or not your pain can...
But we can look it up. Dichotomy, meaning a division or contrast between two things that are or are represented as being opposed or entirely different. Let me see a synonym of it. Paradox, contradiction, incongruity, enigma, mystery, riddle, conundrum, puzzle. Okay, so I do still feel like my my attempt stands, but it does seem like paradox, contradiction. It is just another way of describing, further describe more specifically the situation, the circumstances, the environment.
Conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a kawa. You won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely...
You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. Okay. So, yeah. Pain, of course, being a very heavy factor weighing on your shoulders, which is constantly keeping you back from your full potential. So that is why you don't know whether or not your pain is concealing that full potential, which Ren is calling gold.
It only conceals wisdom.
But it definitely conceals wisdom. And he is talking from his own experiences, right? And well, with his pain, he has successfully translated his pain, or used his pain to put out his material, his music, his songs, his way of connecting with people. So that is why I think he is putting it this way, because obviously his gold, his full potential, we are seeing here, right? He is an amazing artist, and he is doing so, showing us while battling and struggling, fighting his um, Lyme disease.
Whether or not your pain conceals gold, it definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy.
But then he can for sure say this, that it conceals wisdom. So, yeah, this is just very genuine and valuable information because you know who it's coming from, and that is a big part of the decision making of, am I going to accept this wisdom? Am I going to really yeah, see this as valuable information? Yeah, you have to look at the person saying it. And Ren, yeah, he has all the credits in the world in my book, right?
For filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light.
And this also was just so beautiful, and I think this is it's almost scary, actually, the things that he is saying, that he is describing, because I often have conversations with myself under the shower, right? Because I just don't, I'm very introvert, guys, so I don't go out and socialize much, but I do have the ability to converse with myself, and I think it's very productive. I think it's very fruitful. I think having conversations with myself, really spending time with myself, has brought a lot of ideas. And now seeing this is exactly what I have been thinking for a very long time. That there is life is beautiful, right? And I was thinking about the phrase living life to the fullest. And when I say that, what kind of image are you guys now getting in your head? Living life to the fullest. Are you seeing being on vacation, sitting by the pool with a margarita in your hand, sun hat, and just people maybe all showing their nips and making what is it, somersaults into the pool, right? Or is it traveling, living life to the fullest, standing very at the top of the mountain, just having the most beautiful view that you've seen in your life? Because I think it's more common for most of the people, right, to have that kind of idea. But what I was thinking about, and and it's exactly what I think Ren is here trying to explain as well, um, you have to embrace all of the hardships that I mentioned earlier, like receiving that envelope as a reminder to pay your bills, or it's been so outdated you get extra debt on top of it because you are not able to pay it. I think things like that, right? Not knowing how to change your tire and just pushing your car to the garage, or losing your bike and walking 2.5 hours to your home, right? I think those moments are equally as important when we're talking about living life to the fullest, because life is offering you all kinds of experiences. We as people have just given the good situations that label of this is good and this is bad. But honestly, before there even were words, before there even were agreements of certain situations, there is only experience and there's only your own interpretation. And I think that has really been responsible for me um, always keeping a open mind to whatever situation may come across, right? Because I maybe even am biased and I try more to find beauty in those things that obviously are not beautiful. But I don't know, it just feels to me as if there must always be meaning where I can convert it into something positive. And that is what I think he is saying here, right? The darkness, you don't necessarily have to defeat it, you don't necessarily have to abandon it. You have to embrace it, and you have to learn how to use it. You really have to work together with the darkness. And arguably a bit of the same story with REN. You know, the two RENs, the one off pills and the one on pills. I think it's the same kind of message. You cannot separate the two. You have to like this, right, guys? Like this. So yeah.
You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious and you could be magnificent. For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better.
For real.
For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love.
Right on, man. Honestly, if everyone would just watch this video and really take the messages that he is trying to give us to heart, life, the world, would be such a beautiful place. There is no doubt about it.
Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So
right? Ultimately hurting ourselves. So I think, let me see if he further elaborates on it.
Really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away.
Okay, I don't think that, or I should say, I do think that I can add some more substance to what he's saying here.
And decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to.
And notice how he uses his tone to really emphasize that there is interest in moving. What is it called? Moving as a very selfish person, right?
In a material sense.
Right, this kind of tone that he's using here,
rooted in self-interest, can benefit ourselves in a material sense.
Benefit us in a material sense. So there is value in that, yes.
Can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us.
Can be very destructive to the hive. So with the hive, I don't know, maybe I'm missing information, but I think it is very easily replaced with the people as a whole, the community.
Ultimately hurting ourselves.
So you just have to, and I think this is the biggest pill to swallow for the most selfish people. But what I think he is trying to say here is that to invest in others means to invest in yourself. Why? Because there is always there is a saying actually here in the Netherlands that we use for this, or at least that's my interpretation of it. But I don't know. I actually think there is one in English as well. But who does good gets good. I don't know what the saying is, guys, but what I'm trying to explain is that we are. Let me explain it this way. Maybe that's easier to understand. You have to see yourself and the people around you, all of the people, as one collective. And when you have positive input, positive reinforcement to other people, that will nudge those other people. Mind you, it's all you, right? It's all you. But for the purpose of my explanation, it will nudge them to be more positive and emit positive reinforcement outward for other people, yourself, to pick up and pay it forward, right? So I think that is what he is trying to say here. Just be Actually, I think it's definitely what he's trying to say. Him being so selfless is just resulting in all of the input really coming back, right? So that is what I think he's talking about, and I am fairly certain that that is what he's saying here.
So we really must consider that if we're going to step
Ultimately, right? This is the vision, guys. This is the vision. This is me really getting to see Ren, and he is a beautiful, beautiful soul.
into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So, community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority.
He did explain it actually. I just needed to be more patient, but hopefully you guys thought I added some substance there.
Priority number one.
But actually, this is the second word that I don't fully know the meaning of. But I think that is the meaning of it, right? Homeostasis. Ability of a living organism to maintain a stable internal environment despite changes in external conditions. Maintain a stable. Homeostasis is how your body regulates your internal systems so they function correctly as a collective, as a whole. He is just seeing, he is having it's a very big picture thinking here.
If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it, feel it, understand it, express it, and then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love, forgive yourself, and then project that love outwards, and the anger will pass.
Right? I think this is great advice. And I think it can be hard for people really struggling with negative emotions because when you are finding yourself in such a state, of course, everything that you would want is to um, get out of that headspace, right? I don't want to experience this, and I think now me, as privileged as I am right now in this state of mind, I really can see the beauty of the misfortune, can really see the beauty of struggling with negative emotions. I think, but then again, guys, I'm in a very privileged position now. I think there is so much to learn from those situations. So I think it's very very sweet. It's very valuable of Ren to really make you feel seen. Right? He is acknowledging you. If he's addressing you, and he's giving his advice. He has been through a lot, guys. So yeah, you can safely take it from Ren.
We have a decision in every interaction to tilt the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia, and some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect.
Right, and I feel like I may have been influenced because now I've seen it for the first time, right? And then with you guys, and then rewind the whole clip and then really offer my perspective, my analysis. And it does feel to me as if I have been influenced by what I've actually almost subconsciously have seen here, because I do feel that my explanation is almost the same as how he is explaining it. But then again, guys, I 100% agree with everything that he is saying. So I think it is a byproduct as well, right? I will always have this feeling of, oh yeah, I am now saying this because I have seen him talk about it, but it is also because we very much think alike, and he is explaining it so beautifully, guys. Yeah, there is somewhat of a language barrier when it comes to me as a content creator because English isn't my first language. I'm very introvert, so I often have very a lot of ideas in my head, but I just don't know how to really translate that to you guys the way that is my intention. I always feel yeah, lacking actually, kind of. So I am actively trying to work on that, right? Because I think it is a very important quality for a content creator, for a reaction channel owner to have. So yeah, I am very mindful of that. And yeah, guys, hopefully I am yeah, performing well enough for you guys to find it interesting still. But I am actively trying to improve, guys. So stay tuned.
Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too, Ren. I love him. We all love him, right? Renegades, renegades, Reniverse. This is. I glanced over the duration of my recording, and it's 50 minutes, guys. 51 minutes. I don't know if this is interesting for you guys when you see it, but there have been comments saying we don't mind, and yeah, let's see. Hopefully, right? I was just letting the flow take over. I was just looking at this and then providing yeah, what I truly felt like saying. So yeah, this has been for me very valuable to get to know Ren, and I hope this has also been very valuable for you guys to get to know me a bit better, because I think that is very important, right? It's a two-way communication, as I said in a comment earlier. Um, I am trying this, and I'm fairly new, right? Let me just put the camera back on me for you guys. I'm fairly new to the YouTube game. I think 1.5 month that I ago that I have decided to really give this a shot, and I just have to do this for a very long time in order for me to properly say that I have given it a chance, right? I'm still learning, and I am still trying to find ways to more effectively show you yeah, what I am about, the valuable parts of me, so that I can connect with you guys better, because that is the ultimate goal of me running a YouTube channel now, and that is to create a community where ultimately we can just hang out and share ideas, have conversations. I think that is very interesting. I am very interested in people as a whole, and I love hearing about ideas. So that is kind of the thing that I'm going for. That is something that I'm working towards, and but still, guys, fairly new, 1.5 months, something like. That. So yeah, let's just close this up for you guys. I have been seeing a lot of comments actually. I have covered only 2 videos of Ren, and I already feel so welcomed by the Renegades, by this community. So I really want to say thank you for that. And I really appreciate it. And it is helping me a lot, right? I have seen comments saying, this is my idea of the order that you should be checking out Ren's material in, and it's stuff like that that I can really feel that you guys are really thinking with me, right? You guys are just very human and beautiful souls actually as well, just trying to help me. And the way I see it, you guys are helping me helping you, because I am of course responsible for putting out the content. I have some subscribers now saying, I subscribed, I want to see more Ren content. This is me also experiencing that feeling of I have to I have to deliver, and with my heart, right? I will be happy to, but you guys are making it so easy for me to really move in this community, to really move in this environment. I am truly super happy that I covered some Ren videos, and for sure, guys, more, way more, way more to come. I am in love with this communication. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next.